This one is about how the wrong environment can fuck up your body image. Last weekend, my partner and I celebrated 5 years together. We were supposed to celebrate in Italy, but we decided to postpone it. More on that in an upcoming essay. We packed some sliced fruit, some pre-made chicken and mozzarella balls from Erika, a 1-liter thermos full of hot coffee, and drove to a lake. Even though it was windy and the sun that the weather forecast promised did not show up for us, we showed up for each other. And it was one of the loveliest anniversaries we've had. After that, we drove to my partner's grandma's house for a birthday celebration, which means cake and lots of it. This time there were 3 cakes, including the one that I baked the day before. And I, as always, was excited for it. Unlike in the past, I no longer try to restrict myself on the number of slices of cake I'm allowed to have. I simply remind myself that I can eat as many slices of cake as I want, as long as I eat mindfully and slowly. I try my best to no longer eat from a place of fear of missing out, but rather from a place of actually feeling like it in the moment, reminding myself that there's nothing off the table for me anymore in terms of food. This approach has been one of the foundations for my bulimia recovery. I ended up having 3 slices of cake, 2 from the Basque cheesecake I made, which turned out amazing, if I can say so myself, and 1 slice of avocado cake. Yes, you heard it right. It's my partner's favorite cake, and his dad always makes it for him on his birthday. By the time dinner time rolled by, I was still full. As my partner's family started setting the dining table, I debated whether I wanted to eat dinner or not. Since I knew I had my nutrients for the day, I decided not to. When everyone sat down around the table, my partner motioned for me in his familiar "let's feast" gesture, but I said, "I'm going to skip dinner. I'm still full from the cakes." His mom jokingly said, "We don't eat because we're hungry, we eat because it's dinner time." To which I replied, "I know, but I can't today." And that was that. No one said anything else about it. I was beyond relieved. In my family, this small announcement would have turned into "what's wrong?" question repeated multiple times. Then I would be required to explain in detail while I wasn't eating, and that would be concluded with someone telling me, "Just eat a couple of bites." And then piling food onto my plate while saying some version of, "It's not polite for you not to eat when other people are eating." Even when I announced that I was trying to lose weight, my family members kept shoving food at me, and we went through the same cycle every single meal. In the culture I grew up in, food is way more than something that you nourish yourself with. It's a sign of togetherness, love, respect, and for some women, self-worth. I can't tell you how many times I heard my mom criticize someone's food and follow it with, "My food tastes way better than hers, right?" And then saw her beam when we assured her that yes, her food does indeed taste better. Or how many times she'd ask us while we were eating her food if it was good, and get angry if we weren't oohing and awing enough. How many times her mood darkened if we dared to say that someone else's food was good. Not better, just good. Because cooking superior food to others was incredibly important to my mom's self-esteem, she would get offended when I didn't like something that she cooked, or when I didn't want to eat, even if it had nothing to do with the food itself and everything to do with me and my preferences. She also projected her beliefs onto others and believed that all women related to food the same way she did. So she herself would eat whatever others offered her, praising them excessively because she didn't want to offend them. Naturally, I was taught to do the same. Instead of being encouraged to listen to my body, I was prompted to attend to other people's feelings and moods, being careful never to offend them, which included a lot of saying yes when inside I was screaming to say no. Even when my weight became a problem to my mom and I was encouraged to eat less in order to lose weight, it was more important that I keep people pleased. On the one hand, I wanted to please my mom by losing weight. On the other hand, I wanted to please my mom by not offending people when they offered me food. It was incredibly frustrating. There didn't seem to be a way for me to win. Eventually, as other people started commenting on my weight and my appearance as well, I gradually stopped visiting them so I could avoid being offered food or being met with more judgment. Needless to say, all of that developed a fucked up relationship between me, food, and people. Even when I left my family home and that environment, I still gave myself grades regarding food. If I restrict or eat healthy, I'm good. If I eat unhealthy food, I'm bad. If I eat food that people offer me, I'm good. But if that food is not healthy, I'm bad. If I say no to people, I'm bad. It was exhausting. That's why when I met my partner's family for the first time, who in the 4 years I've known them have never commented on my looks or how much or how little I eat, they felt like a breath of fresh air. So much so that I didn't trust them at first. I thought that for sure they were talking about me behind my back, saying how insulting and offensive I was. I couldn't believe that there are people in the world who just focus on themselves instead of others. Instead of me, who don't take me saying no personally and behave like martyrs about it. But let me tell you, they do exist. Miraculous, isn't it? So I started seeking the company of this rare breed of people who didn't have the same relationship with food as I did. People who grew up in a different culture, with different parents, who had different values, who didn't put emphasis on looks or tie food to their self-esteem. People who didn't have the same conditioning that I did. And if they did, they were rebelling against it in an effort to choose something better for themselves, to live a more meaningful life. They, along with the ton of inner work I did, completely changed the way in which I relate to food, to my body, and to the word no. I learned that the messages people choose to infer from my actions or hear from my words are entirely up to them and their perspective on life. The way I see it, I have a responsibility to be a decent person, never act like an asshole, and never offend nor harm anyone on purpose. But at the end of the day, people's reactions are theirs, based on their worldview and what they associate with their worth. There's very little I can do about that. More importantly, now I know that it's not up to me to do anything about it. The people you are surrounded by are extremely influential on your healing journey. Even the people that you love the most can be your biggest obstacles if they are not willing to respect your wishes and change behavior that can be destructive to you. If putting boundaries doesn't help, the healthiest thing you might do for yourself is to put some distance between you and them for a while and surround yourself with people who will inspire and encourage you to break the connection between food, your body, and your self-worth. How to find these people? Well, you can start by joining my community. I am currently building a community for people who left environments where they never felt like they belonged and are now living life on their own terms. The reason I'm starting this community is because I've been there, I'm an immigrant, and I know what it's like when you leave a country for the sake of a better life, for the sake of freedom, and then when you get to a new place, you still feel the same restrictions that you felt back in your old country. And how it feels like it's the most frustrating feeling in the world because you think, but like I did it, like I got out of that toxic environment and now I'm in a new place, like why is everything still the same? And then I realized that it was actually my own beliefs, the beliefs that I carried with me from years of being exposed to them. I took right with me to the new country and I had to work a lot in order to uncover these beliefs and address them and learn how to live with them and learn how to acquire new beliefs, better ones, empowering ones that can help me actually reach the freedom that I always wanted. And so if you would like to join us and to learn more about what we actually do, what we're all about, you can check out the link in the description. Everything's there, and you can also reach out to me on Instagram with any questions that you have. This community is very dear to me, so if what I said resonated with you, I would love to have you join us. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will see you soon. Bye!